You always want Christian out there. What he brings to the run game, also what he brings to the pass game. So it's huge to have Christian.
And hopefully be ready to go. So they put him on IR. Let's wait till this thing settles down. And the only treatment is rest.
If you happen to have selected Christian McCaffrey with the #1 overall pick in your fantasy football draft, then I really hope you happen to have also selected Jordan Mason in the latter part of your draft. If not, then chances are your fantasy football season is over. And a lot of fans are wondering what's going on. So I figured at this point of the season, we're in week 5. It's definitely time to discuss this topic. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel get to 1 million subscribers. And now that we get all that out of the way, work! We made over $500 this past weekend by playing Prize Picks. I posted both of my picks before Sunday and Monday Night Football on my Instagram story at The Flight Mike. If you aren't signed up for Prize Picks, use my promo code Mikerophone to get a free $50 when you place an entry of $5 or more. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Christian McCaffrey's second chapter of his NFL career has been incredible to watch. I mean, the man was literally wasting away on the Carolina Panthers, but when he was fully healthy, he was without a doubt one of the best running backs in the entire NFL. And in 2022, he was placed in the best possible situation that he could have been, getting traded to the San Francisco 49ers to unite with the figure that was very prominent in his childhood, Kyle Shanahan. Christian McCaffrey's dad played for Mike Shanahan, so it was only fitting that CMC would play for Kyle Shanahan. And the first season that these two were together was absolutely magical. I mean, the philosophy was that Christian McCaffrey would thrive in the San Francisco 49ers offense and Kyle Shanahan's zone running scheme, and that he did. CMC completely opened up the San Francisco 49ers offense. I mean, whenever the San Francisco 49ers run bunch formation, you're pretty much sitting there guessing what's going to happen. Is it going to be a Deebo Samuel jet sweep? Is it going to be a Deebo Samuel fake jet sweep play action pass? Is it going to be a Deebo Samuel fake jet sweep inside run to CMC? There are so many ways that you could get beat in this one formation, and the San Francisco 49ers experienced tremendous success as a result of it ever since CMC was traded to the team. In his first year with the team, the 49ers were able to make it all the way to the NFC Championship behind CMC and Brock Purdy. Unfortunately, Brock Purdy would get injured, and of course, the 49ers would lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship. But in his first full season as a San Francisco 49er, Christian McCaffrey had his best statistical output to date, rushing for 1,459 yards and also adding 564 yards receiving, which was good enough for 2,023 yards from scrimmage in the 2023 season. He also had 21 total touchdowns, which was his best season to date, and the 49ers made it to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately would lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. Things would get even better for CMC. As a result of his achievements, Christian McCaffrey would get the Madden cover, and even in his personal life, things were going well as he would marry Olivia Culpo. The 49ers decided to reward Christian McCaffrey with a 2-year, $38 million contract, making him the highest paid running back in the entire NFL. And it's not even particularly close. I mean, you have Christian McCaffrey at $19 million, Alvin Kamara at $15 million, Jonathan Taylor, who had to really cause a ruckus for his contract extension in the beginning of last year, at $14 million, and then Saquon Barkley at $12.6. Josh Jacobs signed a contract with the Green Bay Packers for $12, and then it drops off considerably. So going into this season, fans were very excited to see what the next evolution was going to be for the San Francisco 49ers and Christian McCaffrey. Of course, the 49ers were dealing with a lot of distractions throughout the offseason. I mean, you had the Brandon Ayuk saga, which was very frustrating, that inevitably ended with Brandon Ayuk extending with the 49ers in the beginning of the season. You also had Trent Williams pining for a brand new contract as well. And then, of course, at some point or another, Brock Purdy is expected to get a contract extension as well. Through it all, lost in every single bit of 49ers chaos was the fact that Christian McCaffrey wasn't 100%. I mean, in the very beginning, in training camp, we heard that Christian McCaffrey was sidelined with a mysterious calf/Achilles injury, and it sidelined him through training camp and the preseason. Kyle Shanahan downplayed this for the most part.
No, he didn't have a setback. I mean, it was on and off throughout the week. He was able to practice throughout the week. Just it was always bothering him to a degree.
Performance tonight kind of give you some reassurance that you could allow Christian to maybe heal more than?
Not really. I mean, you always want Christian out there. What he brings to the run game, also what he brings to the pass game. So it's huge to have Christian.
And he didn't really have any concern about Christian McCaffrey making his season debut against the New York Jets. Hell, you even had clips like this of Christian McCaffrey jogging, but at the same time, you were warned that he still wasn't 100%. Despite this, fans still took him #1 overall in their fantasy football leagues. As time went on, we would get more information about the situation. You'd hear Schefter tweeting out about whether or not Christian McCaffrey was good, and for the most part, it seemed like Christian McCaffrey was trying to figure out what was wrong with him himself. Well, CMC wouldn't play in week 1. Jordan Mason would take his place. The official diagnosis was that CMC had Achilles tendonitis. After the 49ers would lose to the Minnesota Vikings, Kyle Shanahan would say something that would terrify CMC fantasy football owners when he said that nobody knows what's going on. We're dealing with tendonitis, so there's not one person who knows. He doesn't know, we don't know. We can take it day by day, and the 49ers would put him on IR. Shanahan would even say by putting him on IR, it's at least 4 weeks, so that'll give him some time to rest and kind of protect him from himself. Us too, no matter how he's feeling, is 4 at the minimum, which means the earliest that CMC could return is in a week against the Seattle Seahawks. But so far, not even that is for sure, and honestly, it really shouldn't be. Eventually, Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's father, would comment on what the situation is.
And so, you hear all these medical terms. Look, if you have tendonitis, you have tendonitis, but it's just tendonitis. So I wouldn't get overly complicated, which means it's very, very sore. But if you have, it's pretty hard to run when you have an Achilles injury. It's the beginning of the season. We don't need to put you out there. Let's get you 100% and hopefully be ready to go. So they put him on IR. Let's wait till this thing settles down. And the only treatment is rest.
And the reason why fans are concerned is because Adam Schefter is also saying stuff like this.
He's dealing with Achilles tendonitis actually in both legs now. It's both legs, not just one. That's been an ongoing recurring issue. So there remains a major question as to when McCaffrey will be back for the 49ers.
Wait, hold on. Time out. He has Achilles tendonitis in both legs? It's not just one leg, but it's in both legs? The injury is called bilateral Achilles tendonitis? Apparently, the plan was to give him time to recover, and then at some point in a thoughtful way to ramp him back up. So he does early and where he goes, he's got people who work on his body and have for a long time. And this is nothing new. I mean, we've heard crazy stories about Christian McCaffrey's regimen in high school. I mean, his dad would pick him up during his off period and give him a saline IV.
No sodas, bedtime 7:30. We're getting just saline IVs game day. Because I remember one game I cramped against Grandview High School, like my sophomore year, first game in the fourth quarter. Calf cramps, double calf cramps. He's like, you're never cramping again. IVs, never cramped again. Oh yeah, and I like even like little things, like you're wearing jeans. Like my school was private school, you wear jeans or no sweats, whatever. You wearing jeans to school? He doesn't even remember this. I remember. Pretty heavy on the legs, don't you think? Like, you gotta know, like, you're kind of right. Wore sweats, got in trouble. Didn't like, look, dude, you gotta be comfy during the day. You gotta be relaxed. Like, this is how you act on a game day. Like, this is what you do. Like all that pep rally shit. Like, don't be yelling. Don't be losing your voice when you're out in the sun. If you squint, you're wasting energy. Like, make sure you have it. Like, I'm talking, and I didn't realize. So like people who like know me now and they see, taking how I take care of my body and like the warm ups and all these stuff. It's like that's been like bred in us since I was a kid. Like it's been taught to us for the longest time. Like, hey, this is. And that's what he did. And he was over the top. Like there's guys in his team who were like, what the hell is this guy? This guy's nuts. He would cut like certain splits in the pant to give you like more knee flexion, like back in the day.
At 8 years old.
Doing like dynamic warm-ups, dude.
So obviously CMC's always had people to work on him, but all we're getting is more vague updates about CMC. But the information is just getting scarier and scarier because the most recent info is something that made 49ers fans and fantasy owners alike very concerned. So Christian McCaffrey reportedly went to Germany about his Achilles injury. According to Kyle Shanahan, Christian McCaffrey traveled to Germany over the weekend to visit with a specialist. He's expected to spend a few days there this week to get help for his ailing Achilles. So it's just scary because this started as, hey, it's not a big deal, it's just a calf injury, to, hey, he has a little tendonitis in his Achilles, to, hey, by the way, both of his Achilles tendons have tendonitis in it. This is typically a 6-month injury to recover from. And honestly, it's not something that you want to mess with, particularly with one of the best, if not the best, halfback in the NFL, especially because Christian McCaffrey is the engine that makes the San Francisco 49ers go. The last time I heard of any athlete going to Germany for treatment, it was the late great Kobe Bryant 10 years ago. And it was when he went to get PRP therapy. The reason why Kobe had to go all the way to Germany is because it was not at the time approved for use in the United States. The FDA has not approved all elements of the program, specifically the amount of time that the blood is stored before being re-injected. The FDA also requires that the blood be minimally manipulated before being reintroduced, and the procedure wasn't considered minimal. Kobe got this done after he tore his Achilles tendon, so he was trying to feel way less pain in his Achilles. So obviously it's not good if you have to go all the way to Germany in the middle of the NFL season. And fans are concerned that this might be Christian McCaffrey's Todd Gurley era. If you guys remember, Todd Gurley was the LA Rams offense when Sean McVay took the job, and he taught Sean McVay that you just can't build an offense around a running back because of questions in regards to their durability. But in 2017, Todd Gurley was incredible, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and 19 touchdowns. As a result of this, Todd Gurley was rewarded with a huge contract extension, signing a 4-year, $60 million extension with the Rams. The very next year, he picked off where he left off in the 2018 season, but things came crashing down for him during the postseason. Todd Gurley was able to play versus the Cowboys, but wasn't the workhorse he usually was. He still ran 16 times for 115 yards and a touchdown, but he barely ran in the NFC Championship game, and he was able to play in the Super Bowl, but he only had 10 carries for 35 rushing yards. Following the Super Bowl, we found out he had arthritis in his left knee, and as a result, he was a shell of his former self with the LA Rams in his age 25 season, going from a man that averaged 4.9 yards per carry in 2018 to 3.8 yards per carry in 2019. The Rams cut him after the 2019 season, and he signed a 1-year prove-it deal with the Atlanta Falcons during his age 26 season in 2020. Gurley looked even worse as a member of the Atlanta Falcons, only 3.5 yards per carry, and that was the end of Todd Gurley's career. But I think this is a much different circumstance because Todd Gurley came into the NFL with already a questionable injury history. He tore his ACL versus Auburn when he was playing for Georgia. So in the case of the San Francisco 49ers and CMC, I just really hope they don't rush him back from injury. And honestly, I don't think they need to. I mean, take your time, even if it means he doesn't play until the playoffs. Jordan Mason is doing just fine so far. The man is nearly averaging 5 yards per carry. I mean, the guy is having an incredible season for the San Francisco 49ers. There is no reason to rush Christian McCaffrey back from injury and potentially cause him to tear his Achilles. If CMC tears his Achilles, man, that's it. It's over. He's never going to be the same player ever again. Hopefully he gets back, is fully healthy, and doesn't sustain a major injury upon his return. I really hope he doesn't get rushed back. But if you're a fan of the San Francisco 49ers, let me know in the comment section down below. Is Christian McCaffrey's career in danger? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.